Hey, I'm Tom, and this is TRBCollectibles, where I go to yard sales, estate sales, and thrift stores. I buy items for a low price, then resell it on eBay for a decent profit. Today I wanted to talk about what drives more sales to my eBay store. When I go ahead and I combine shipping with the global shipping program. But before we talk about that, I also wanted to talk about a couple of the other items that I went ahead and I sold this week. The first one being this 13-volume set of Reader's Digest books. I picked them up for about $1/4 a book, in total $3.25. I sold it for $49.99, plus the buyer paying $15.16 for the shipping. Individually, these books really weren't worth it, but selling them as a lot is what really gave them their value because people want the collection. Now, I'm always on the hunt for media, as I've mentioned in previous videos, so from cassettes to DVDs to Blu-rays to vinyl records, you name it, I'm always now looking for it because there are those that really want it. So never pass up an opportunity to look up media, especially books. The next item also falls under that media category. We had talked about it a couple weeks ago, in which I went to a thrift store and I found a couple Insane Clown Posse CDs. Let me go ahead and take you back. I picked up a couple of Insane Clown Posse CD sets, and I recently sold one of them, the Bang Pow Boom series set on CD. Now, they have a very niche, huge following and huge audience that enjoys all of their content. Now, I have not listened to it myself, but I do know of their fan base. So I went ahead and I picked this CD set up for $2, and I went ahead and I sold it at a best offer for $42 plus $3.19 shipping. That margin, you can't beat it. I went ahead and I put it in a box rather than a poly mailer so I wouldn't crack the jewel case. And I made sure that it got to the buyer very nicely because of that profit margin. I was happy to give them a box, and that didn't adjust my shipping cost at all. So as we saw, that Insane Clown Posse CD that I bought for $2, I sold for a really good price. And I had listed the one that I'm about to tell you, which I went ahead and I found the Mighty Death Pop album collection, in addition to what I sold last week. This one I also bought for $2. I sold it for $63.81, it being the more profitable of the two. And I went ahead and I made the buyer pay for $3.19 shipping. So in total, off a $4 purchase for 2 CD sets of the Insane Clown Posse, I made very close to $100. I couldn't complain. I sold it in less than a month for both of them. The nice thing about the Insane Clown Posse, they have a very dedicated fan base, so when it comes to a lot of their memorabilia, their albums, their CDs, it's more collected, and it wasn't overproduced like major artists. So I'm always now on the hunt for the Insane Clown Posse, just based on the pure fact that I turned $4 into a little bit over $100 just with the Insane Clown Posse. So be on the lookout. The next item I wanted to talk about is PlayStation games, video games, specifically PS3. We are now in the fourth quarter. It is November, so I went ahead and I started listing video games, and guess what they started doing? Selling right away because people are looking for them. I didn't offer any best offers on my video games, just knowing that based on how I price them, I know by December they should all sell through, and this was a truly profitable one. I sold 3 games, all Ratchet & Clank series for the PlayStation 3. I paid about $2 a piece per game, in total $6, and the buyer paid me $69.99 plus $9.55 for shipping. The games were in great condition. The cases were in great condition. I think what brought the value to this series, granted Ratchet & Clank is also something you should look for, but by putting them together, it's almost like I completed a set for someone that needed to finish their collection, and I happen to have all 3, and as far as that lot, it makes it convenient that I had all 3, so they're going to purchase from me rather than purchase 3 separately, which between the item and the combined shipping, technically mine would be cheaper. So I was fortunate enough that I could get all 3 in those series, and I went ahead and made a decent profit. The next item is this Jack Dempsey needle art cross-stitch pattern. If you remember a couple weeks ago, or was it last week, I released a not-so-secret video about cross-stitch patterns? Let me go ahead. Here's Tom. I just wanted to post a very special update on an interesting purchase that I recently made. I went ahead and I picked up a whole bunch of cross-stitch patterns, and I'm not talking like a little bunch, I'm talking like a lot bunch. I purchased over 300 pieces of cross-stitch patterns. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. So this is the first bin that I picked up. It has sealed cross-stitch patterns, a wide variety, like this one's for Halloween, in all different sizes and shapes. So I could easily go ahead and sell all of these. No problem. I got a lot of thread, sealed new thread in the bag, and this is all patterns as well. I went ahead and I picked up this second bag. Yes, I had to fill trash bags worth. Some of this is open, most of it, I'd say 85% of it, is sealed new product. Which is really good for me. Some of it is open, but also they've added and purchased the thread count when they went ahead and let it go. So that adds a little bit more value to the person buying it. And I got a ton of pieces. And then this, underneath, take a look at the size of this bin, is completely full of cross-stitch patterns. So as you see, I have a lot of cross-stitch that I'm currently going through right now. And this is one of the first ones that I listed. If you take a look at the SKU number, you're gonna see that it's in the low hundreds. I went ahead and I listed it. I remember I bought it for $1.50. I went ahead and sold it for $23.74. And I still have hundreds more of these cross-stitch patterns. So every one of these will add up. I was very fortunate enough to come across this many cross-stitch patterns, but week after week after week, I will continue to list it and I will continue to update you right here on my channel, so be sure to tune in if you're into cross-stitch patterns. The buyer also paid for $5.95 of shipping, so that $1.50 to that $23.74 was truly a great profit margin. The next item, this is my first time selling in this category. I sold a not a microscope, a telescope's lens. Apparently you can change the lens on what you view into a telescope. I did not know this. My neighbor was moving. He had a series of these and he just gave them to me. I tried to give him some money. I tried to give him something. He wouldn't take it. He said, "Here, I know what you do on eBay. I want you to have these. I can't use them anymore. Get what you get out of them." I was so appreciative of him. I did help him move a little bit, so make sure that I can get him back for what he was giving me. It was very kind of him to do so. But as I'd like to say, if you have friends or family that are looking to just get rid of items, hey, you're always there to easily take them away, but never not offer them something, because you always want to make sure that you can accommodate somebody else and make sure that you're just a generalized, just good person. So I went ahead and I picked up this Meade series telescope, 9.7 millimeter, for $0, and I went ahead and I sold it for $29.99 plus $5.50 worth of shipping. I went ahead and I put it in a box. It was like yay big. It was very small. But overall, a great selling point. I listed it, and 3 days later, it sold. So be on the lookout for telescope pieces. I didn't know, I've never sold one, but now I will be on the hunt for them. The very last item I wanted to talk about leads us to the very title of the video. When you combine the global shipping program and combined shipping. To those international buyers, they're looking at your items on eBay, but they're looking at a different price point on the shipping cost compared to what you see. As an eBay seller, you can sell in two categories. For international sellers, you can sell in the regular international, or you can do the global shipping program, which the global shipping program allows you to take your item, ship it to a factory, an eBay warehouse facility that will then take your item and ship it internationally. But the only cost point you will see is the portion of the shipping that the buyer has paid you for you to ship it to that facility. And I believe it is in Kentucky. So that's the price point on what I'm going to see for my item that I'm going to ship internationally for the combined shipping program. And it makes international shipping a lot more easier for the seller's perspective on understanding the international fees that you're going to pay, because eBay takes care of all of that. If you don't want eBay to take care of that, there's no fee included with that. You can always sell internationally on yourself, but you also have to remember the different customs and different fees that the buyer could potentially pay. But that's going to be on you if you choose to do so. So I go through the global shipping program, but my combined shipping also works in the fact like it does for domestic US sellers, that if you buy more items from my store and they add up into a certain weight and you buy multiples, I will give you the difference of the shipping cost back to you, because I combine the items for buying it from my store because you bought more items. So when you combine that with international shipping and those international buyers see that you do so, shipping internationally, the more items you buy becomes more cost effective. So when you combine that with the international shipping program or the global shipping program, it just makes sense for the international buyer, aka my next item. I sold 2 more cross-stitch patterns, the J-Lin cross-stitch patterns that I put up on the screen. The first one and the second one I bought for $3 in total, and I sold them combined for $65.98. Look at that margin. And I sold to somebody internationally. The shipping that they paid me for eBay shipping it to Kentucky was $11.20. Now, I'm not sure where that item was going. I don't receive that information. I just receive the information going to Kentucky. eBay takes it from Kentucky going forward anywhere that it's shipping to. But the buyer is not only paying $11.20, there is another fee, there is another price point that they're paying eBay to ship it the rest of the way to Kentucky. So that helps your international buyers see that you have combined shipping, but it also shows them that you are willing to ship internationally. So that opens up the way that you can ship not only domestically, but to other sellers around the world as well if they're looking for a very specific item. In my case, it was cross-stitch patterns that I bought for $3. And I still have hundreds more to go. I'm glad I could share this with you. If you did have any questions so I can break it down even further, be sure to leave them down below. If you liked today's video, be sure to click that thumbs up button. If you enjoyed the video a ton, tell a friend and click that subscribe button together. I'd really appreciate it. Well, as always, my name's Tom, and this has been TRB Collectibles.